So the first season of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man has just finished airing on Disney Plus, and I gotta say, this show was way better than I thought it would be. The whole premise of this show is that basically it's MCU, but not really, so it's kind of weird, but also very interesting. I'll explain. Like, stuff that's happened in the MCU is referenced in this show, but there are characters that aren't in the MCU that play massive parts in this show. Like, just going off the top of my head, the Sokovia Accords from Civil War, they're mentioned, and I forgot what episode it was. It was either the first one or the second one, but this show's version of Peter, beat for beat, has a scene that is the exact same as Peter's introduction in Civil War. I can't lie to y'all, man. Once I saw that scene, I was like, okay, I know this show's gonna be fire. So I wasn't lying when I said that there are characters in the show that have massive roles, but they aren't in the MCU. Literally, just off the top of my head again. Norman and Harry Osborn, Nico Minoru, Otto Octavius, Wave, Tombstone. The list just keeps going. It's crazy. I know this is so random, and I swear I'm not racist, bro. But I thought this entire time before I watched the show that Lonnie Lincoln was Harry Osborn. I had seen him in the promos. I'm like, oh, okay, that's Harry. And then it caught me so off guard when this other guy turned out to be Harry. I was like, oh, I was like, oh no, bro. Listen, you guys can't flame me, because I didn't see any of the trailers for the show. I seen like stills, and that was it. I was just like, okay. It kind of sounds like I'm gassing this up, which I am, just a little bit. But let me talk about what I didn't like before I get into what I did like. Okay, so the biggest thing I did not like in this show is Peter's voice actor. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Tom Holland has done irreparable damage to how Spider-Man is portrayed in media these days. It's not even funny. The only exceptions are games and comics, but even then, bro, it hijacked Insomniac. Okay, bro, I'm getting ahead of myself. I get that he's a high schooler, but why does that automatically mean he sounds like a all the time? Mr. Osborn, are you sure that's okay? Mr. Osborn, why would you let me do this? Oh, Mr. Osborn, please let me please work. Jesus Christ, talk normally, bro.
Appreciate the help, fanboy, but keep clear. You're not pretty enough to save twice.
Brother, please, we need to bring back college-age Peter, man. Or just, like, Peter that's older than like 16, bro. Like, early 20s Peter. That is primetime Peter, bro. That is what the people need. So, the next complaint, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just complaining about, but it's the writing. Let me be more specific. Not the narrative, like the overall story. It's mainly the dialogue in this show. Holy
Mr. Campbell, I remembered I left something in the bathroom. Deuces. Parker out.
Like, it's not bad all the time. Like, sometimes it's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's like, what the hell are we doing here, people? Like, the same problem across so many Marvel projects where every single character is, like, overly polite, quirky, awkward. What happened to nuance, bro?
You know me, clumsy, Petey, Parker.
Oh, hey, Nico. Hey, what's up, Pearl?
Like, oh my god, there was a scene in, like, episode, I don't know what it was. It was one of the later episodes, I think, where Peter, he's leaving a voicemail for somebody. I was just like, who the wrote this? Like, bro, fire them right now. Who, like, my god, this is so trash. Like, okay, as the season goes, it definitely improves, right? But there's definitely still moments where I'm just like, what the am I listening to? God damn it! Like, I was trying to figure out how we've regressed with character writing, and I found out why. It's all Tom Holland's fault. Okay, this should be the last of the stuff I didn't like, and it's not even that much of an issue, but it's the animation. The most accurate description of this show's animation is hit or miss. Like, sometimes it'll be really fluid and everything is just like smooth and clean, but other times it'll be choppy, and I swear to God, I checked this one scene like 5 times, but the frames were dropping mid-fight. I have never seen that in an animated TV show. I was like, what the hell is happening? I even made sure, like, it wasn't my goddamn computer that wasn't, like, crashing. But I was like, no, it's the show! But I do think, for the most part, it's fine. And I have faith that they'll improve it for season 2. Now, let's move on to the good, and there is a lot of good in this show. The storyline of this first season was something that I wasn't really expecting to like, but I really ended up liking it. Having Peter and Lonnie both start on their respective journeys while, like, continuing to progress more and more throughout the season before, like, they eventually collide was a very interesting and emotional plotline. Lonnie Lincoln's plotline especially, he is more or less like the other main character of this first season, and I gotta say that I just Like, I was way more invested than I thought it would be, I can't lie. And I have to give this show some props for not pulling its punches sometimes. Like, it gets kind of wild. So I have a list here. So let's see, we have racism. Okay. We have some what do you call it? Some obscenities being hurled out. And violence. Oh, Scorpion straight up impales a dude and we see it. Oh, wow. Oh, and Spider-Man gets brutalized by Scorpion. That too, I forgot. Yeah, wow. You know, for a show that, like, I don't know, from the outside looking, it looks so but then you watch it and you're actually like, oh wow, there's some substance here. I'm so annoyed that the writers can clearly do stuff like this, but they can't reflect it into their writing, like in the way they write dialogue. It's so weird. But I think, to be honest, most of the narrative stuff has come from the showrunner, Jeff Tramiel. He might not be the showrunner, but he's definitely one of the leads of the show. And he, like, I listened to some interviews where he talks about like his inspiration for the show, and I can definitely see like he's the reason why the show is pretty good. Like, the cast of characters that they've chosen for this show already gives the potential to be top 3 Spider-Man anime shows, just full stop. But I'm gonna just say it's gonna be number 3. It'll be below Spectacular and the MTV series. Good lord, I could go on for like 20 minutes talking about why I love both of these shows so much, but we're talking about a different show. Maybe in the future. But yeah, man, the cast of the show is great. There's so many interesting subversions. It's pretty good. You have Pearl, aka Wave, being his love interest. You have Nico Minoru being his best friend. Norman Osborn is his mentor figure, and Lonnie, aka Tombstone, is also his friend, but they're laying, the groundwork for him to eventually fully turn into Tombstone. So they do some really good character work with Pearl and Lonnie, because basically, right, Peter has been crushing on Pearl for time, but when we see them in the show, Pearl and Lonnie are dating. But as Lonnie keeps inching closer and closer to becoming Tombstone, it affects Pearl, and Peter can, obviously see that. I also really like the way that they show Lonnie becoming Tombstone, because it's not like he one day just decided, oh I'm gonna become evil. There is like genuine reasoning, and he does it out of care for his family. But as he gets deeper and deeper, it starts affecting him more. It's so compelling. I genuinely think I think this is the best plot thread so far. So yeah, these things are really well done, because all the stuff that's happening, like all the things the characters do, it ties back in with one another, and it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. But we were talking about the cast. We have Doc Ock, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Scorpion. These characters all show up at some point during the first season, and it's crazy, bruh. When is the last time we had an all-timer cast like this in an animated Spider-Man show? It is crazy. Man, we do not get enough Osborn content these days, and I hate how the MCU has legit cut themselves out of ever being able to use them because of No Way Home, bruh. What's so good about the Osborn family is that not only are they so quintessential to Spider-Man's character, whenever you involve them, it always makes for like a great story. And I'm so happy this show has gone with that. And even if it doesn't end up being good, I'm looking at you, Taz2. The story is compelling. I was interested in what was happening. I was like, oh okay, what's happening with Harry? What's happening with Norman? How does it all tie in with Peter? It's great. Also, hot take, I don't give a but I love how the spider bit him in this universe, because kinda spoilers, I think in the last episode they tie it together, I'll say that, and it had my jaw on the floor. I was like, wow. I won't say explicitly what happens, but when I kind of pieced together what was happening, I fell onto my knees and I was like, bro, I could not be any happier that we're getting at least 2 more seasons of this. Hopefully we get more, man. So the cast is fantastic, story is fantastic, and the last thing I'd like to mention is the soundtrack. Holy shit! The soundtrack is composed by Leo Byron Berg and Zach Robinson, who have also composed the soundtrack for Cobra Kai. Man, if you guys weren't familiar with Cobra Kai's game, holy shit! Almost every single track that they made for that show was straight flames, and I'm happy to say, people, it doesn't stop here. The music that's been composed for the show legit elevates every scene. It's so good, it's not even funny. The main theme of the show might actually be the best Spider-Man theme ever conceived, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, it's so good. After I finished the show, I've had this on repeat for the last, what's today, Saturday? The last day and a half. This show has so much potential, and even though like it took me a while to see the vision the show has, I will be there for seasons 2 and 3, man.